therapy would realign stuff so you could have more lightning bolty kind of stuff and rely on your instincts a little better.
How does therapy work? How long does that take?
I'm tired. You're tired already?
I'm already so tired.
Welcome to Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children. Hey everyone, welcome to Dr. After Dark. We appreciate you all being here. The number is 818-253-1693 for those voice messages. We cannot get enough, nor can we get enough of these emails, which have been exceptional lately. I appreciate them. drafterdark@gmail.com. Don't forget the bobblehead, drdrew.com/shop. Am I getting that right, gentlemen? Shop, is that correct? Store, shop? Store?
Yeah.
And by the way, the other merch, everybody needs to have a Rational Revolution cup in their hand. I assailed Miss Christina P. The other day that I was angry with her, that the Rational Revolution that she promised me was taking too goddamn long. And she goes, it'll happen, don't you worry. My guest today is Lauren Compton. Lauren is here as a newcomer to the Your Mom's House world. We're going to learn a little bit about Lauren, and then she's going to help me answer some voice messages, emails, and we'll look at some videos as we always do. So,
cool.
Welcome.
Thanks. Hi.
Hi. So I don't know you, so I got to start from basics. So where'd you grow up?
I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Mm-hmm. And just whole childhood, everything there?
Until I was 18, I was homeschooled.
Oh my goodness, interesting.
And then I moved out of Texas when I was 18.
Why the homeschooling?
I was an elite gymnast.
Oh,
so I trained from 6 a.m. to noon. I'd have lunch from noon to 1. And then the gym had an upstairs, and there were 6 girls on the team, and we would go upstairs, and we had a English professor that would teach us for 4 hours. And I did all the subjects just upstairs in a...
English meaning a British.
No, she was like an English PhD. She had a PhD in English.
I see.
I guess I said that
But she would
wrong.
teach math and everything else too, even though she was a humanities person.
She taught it all.
Interesting. Do you feel like you got a good education that way? No. Were you a good student?
No.
No. Did you go to college? No. So
like
for a minute.
I went to a community college for a very short amount of time.
Uh-huh. Did something take you away from college?
Yeah. I got recruited by Playboy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I immediately left college because I was like, well, this sounds more fun.
Playboy television or Playboy magazine or
both?
Both.
Yeah. I've been on the cover. I've been in 4 special editions. But I left college because they had an opportunity for me to travel to Argentina and be on a TV show for a couple of months.
Fantastic. As a host or a cast member?
Yeah, 4 playmates went, and we just traveled all over Argentina, Patagonia, Bariloche, Salta, and it was a travel show.
Cool.
So yeah, I host. Yeah. I guess we all 4 kind of hosted.
So gentlemen, would you rather watch Bert Kreischer running around Argentina or Lauren? What say you?
I'll vote for Lauren.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we do have a lot in common. Neither one of us had our shirt on.
That's interesting. Again, I'm not so sure I care that Bert is off, but whatever. Interesting. So you seem more like the hosty type. I'm surprised they didn't develop you as a host more thoroughly.
Well, I bailed.
Because?
Well, the very last day that I had at Playboy, after like 4 or 5 years of a really great relationship that I had with them, they called me in to host a massive pool party, and there was a lot of money on the table. They were like, it's $25,000 a week for 6 weeks, and I was holy shit. That's what I said. Yeah. I was like, say no more.
In LA or where?
It was in LA. It was at their headquarters.
Okay.
And so I went through hair and makeup
Meaning
and everything.
the mansion?
No, they have an actual office.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I know. As most people think, it does all go down in the mansion, but they actually have a headquarters.
Yep.
And so at this meeting, they really didn't fill me in because all they said was I was going to be hosting a pool party. And I sat down at this long conference table after going through hair and makeup, and they give me this script, and I open it, and the very first line says, "Hi, my name is Lauren Compton. Do you think you can suck dick better than me?"
Oh, boy.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I love the peanut gallery just laughing their asses off.
Yeah, but to me, it almost seems like that's kind of lawsuit material. You know
Well,
what
it
I
was,
mean?
and I asked them, I go, what the fuck is this? And they're like, you're going to be hosting an orgy. You're going to be going up to people that are like fucking and sucking, and then you're going to be like interviewing them. And I'm like, first of all, no one wants to be interrupted when they're getting jiggy with it, you know?
I would imagine.
And so they were like, well,
That's
you
the
don't have
comedy.
to.
To be fair, that's the comedy.
Yeah.
but still.
Excuse me, could you take that out of your mouth really quick? Just want to ask you a quick question. How's it taste? Like, what?
It's better talking about it than actually doing it, I must say. Yeah.
And so I told them, I was like, I'm not going to be able to do that because that's porn. And they're like, no, you don't have to participate. And I'm like, I'm not going to participate.
Yeah.
And so one guy like slammed his hands down. He stood up and he was like, we're shooting this tomorrow. And if you're not going to do this, then get out. And I was like, no problem. And so I left. And that was the end of my Playboy career.
This is my concern about that world. The way they treat women. You know what I mean?
Well, no shit.
It is. I was over there once. I'm going to pull the curtain back on this. Because I was over there once. A friend of mine was a friend with somebody in the television side. And I had lunch over there. And these guys were disgusting.
Yeah, they love to exploit women.
It is a little more subtle than exploit, but it's equal. I don't know how they just the way they think about women and themselves. They're also think about themselves as superior,
right?
And it's sort of like it's kind of a weird male supremacy kind of a thing. It's a weird, fucked up, and I found it just really disgusting. And I remember, so I've sort of had my eye on it. Like I always wondered. You know, I don't mean as a young man, of course, I had my eye on the magazine. I was sort of indoctrinated by all that, but I always knew that we elevated that whole world to too high a status at the time, and that there would be a reckoning for it, and that people are sort of looking at it differently now, I think.
Well, now it's like so subpar, but yeah, continue.
Well, my point was I was watching a documentary about Hugh Hefner with my wife, and she used to model and stuff like that too, and I just said, why did women put up with this? Why did this, particularly back then, like in the 70s and 80s, like why did you do that? She goes, it's the only move we had. We didn't have any power otherwise.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that is profound.
It's true because like my dream was never to be a playmate.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be a Victoria's Secret model, but I'm not 5'7" with an eating disorder, you know? Like even God was like, you've got double D's and you're 5'2", so it's Pornhub for you, babe. Like I know, it's just that's I didn't choose this life.
So I'm all ears.
I didn't choose this life, Dr. Drew. This life chose me.
I get it. You couldn't avoid it.
You know, I didn't buy them.
I get it. And,
Yeah.
and so if you're thin with large breasts, you're destined for...
If you're 5'2", you can't be a Victoria's Secret model. So you just settle for nudity. I mean, you don't have to settle. It's just...
One just did.
Made sense to me.
Yeah, it made sense to you. And
I went from... you know, I used to use my body in gymnastics, and now I just used it in other ways.
Well,
We'll skip right over that joke.
Well, no, but I treated Mary Carey for addiction.
Oh.
And she's a porn star.
Oh.
And she, you're going to get Mary Carey up there. And she was a ballerina, like a highly accomplished ballerina.
Yeah.
And sort of has a similar kind of feeling about it. Now, it didn't work well.
She looks just like Mariah Carey.
In those pictures. She's not, when she's moving, it's not quite that. But, and she, you know, she's lovely. And she actually kind of forsakes it and then keeps drifting back to it. It's kind of addictive, right? Once you get into it, both the money and the lifestyle and stuff.
You know what I found addictive is I started getting a fetish for exhibitionism. So I started to really love being naked in public. But, I mean, I was also getting paid for it. Not a lot. But
is this like on a OnlyFans or something? Or
no, with Playboy. So when I quit Playboy, the hardest thing to quit actually was how much fun it was. Because I kind of got off on like running around foreign countries naked with
Right.
a crew and stuff. It
Understood.
was just really fun.
Yeah, I get it. And so how did you transition that? Given that you liked doing that, what happened next?
Then I went into acting and I went mainstream,
Ah,
which was incredibly hard to do.
because you got labeled as something else?
At the time, like social media wasn't even really a thing. It was just like the internet. So when I'd audition to be on a TV show or in a film, they would Google me, and instead of like actual credible things that would come up, it would just be all of this like Playboy stuff that I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so casting directors were always like, oh, like we can't send this girl
Got it.
to be like an actual actress.
Have you broken through all that? Or is that
Yeah.
good?
Yeah.
And when in
It
comedy,
only took 16 years.
oh my goodness.
And then I went to OnlyFans.
Okay, now you're an OnlyFans. So it is, and then comedy. How'd that get into this?
I got into comedy because I got divorced and I needed therapy, but I didn't want to go to a therapist. So I just started dishing out all my shit on stage.
And
Think Marvelous Miss Maisel.
cool. And you were married how long?
7 years.
What happened?
He cheated on me. You want to hear the story?
Sure.
It's really fun. So he managed a restaurant, and one night he didn't come home, and usually he'd come home at midnight or 1, and he didn't come home. And so I woke up, and it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, where is this guy? So I go and find my iPhone, and I put in his username and password, and it showed that he was down the street. And I was like, that's crazy. He must have gotten in a car accident and be dead in a ditch. So I drove.
Oh, boy.
And I got there, and he comes walking out of an apartment, and I was like, he's alive?
Not for long.
I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, you're supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
And so then I drove home as fast as I could. He never saw me. Pretended like I was asleep. He comes walking in the door, and I saw him in Venice Beach. And so that's where this all happened.
Were you guys living in Venice?
We were.
In Southern California? Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, where have you been? And he was like, oh, West Hollywood. And I was like, well, there's a lie. So then I told him I had a bunch of anxiety. I wanted to go for a drive, and I drove as slow as I could back to her house. And as we were getting there, he's like, where are we going? And I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. And then I punched him in the face. He was like, it's the hostess of the restaurant. He got out of the car, and then I filed for divorce 2 days. 2 years. Could you imagine the low self-esteem?
But still,
2 days.
I hate those
Later.
stories. It's so awful.
Yeah.
It's such a betrayal. It's
But
so awful.
it's made my comedy career.
Okay, good. Good. That's good.
Fuck it.
And
He sucks.
well, probably he does. I mean, no, he
I
does.
mean, we're actually still really good friends. I'm sorry for saying
I
that.
couldn't-
You
I
don't
couldn't
really
maintain a
suck.
friendship.
I'm sure he'll watch this.
I couldn't maintain a friendship with somebody like that.
No?
It's hard even me to understand what would be going through his head.
Regret.
No, not afterwards. I mean, that would create such bad judgment as to. I mean, did he want out? Were you guys getting along okay?
I think because I had done Playboy and then at this time in our relationship, I was doing like guest star roles on TV shows and I was doing like lead roles in films. I think he was just really insecure. And I loved him so much.
That's so fucked up. When
I
guys
know.
do.
And then he was like, I didn't have sex with her. I just got really wasted and
bullshit.
I threw up.
Yeah,
I was like, so what?
whatever.
You were playing like Twister and you slipped and fell and
Yeah.
just like tripped over your dick?
Right.
Like how?
Right? No way.
I'm not an idiot.
Did he protest? Did he try to salvage the relationship?
Oh yeah. He's still trying to salvage it. 7 years later. He's like, I'd marry you again in a heartbeat. And I'm like, oh.
No. Not after
No.
that. There are times when you can kind of get through betrayals. You can kind of figure it out. But this is so profound and so early in the relationship, too.
I know.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Have you been able to have relationships since?
They're not great.
Maybe that's where the therapy could come in. Maybe.
Yeah.
It
I dish it out on stage though.
it makes for a good comedy. You won't lose that. Don't worry. It'll stay. So, and your family of origin, were your parents together?
They were together. They were married for 32 years.
Were.
My dad died in 2012 from cancer.
Ooh, what kind of cancer?
He had cancer of the sinuses.
Ugh, nasopharyngeal cancer. Ugh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And not much. It's radiation. That's about all we can do. And
Yeah, and he had chemotherapy, and he
Doesn't really-
overcame it, and then it relapsed, and then
doesn't work. What did your dad do for a living?
he was a computer engineer,
And your mom?
was a nurse.
And she's still nursing?
She retired when COVID hit.
Good for her. Do you know what kind of nursing she did?
She was in medical surgical, so she would take care of people.
Med-surg wards.
Yeah,
Floor nurse.
in a hospital, yeah.
And I was just, who got you into I'm thinking about a friend of mine, Nastya Lukin.
I love her.
And how she got involved with gymnastics was her dad, right?
Yeah.
Who became her coach. So how did you get into this?
Into gymnastics? Mm-hmm. I was watching the Olympics.
There's Nastya.
Yeah. I've met Nastya multiple times.
She's also from Dallas.
Yeah, her dad owns a gym called World Olympic.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost started training there, but I went to Mesquite Institute of Gymnastics instead. And we were rivals. Our gyms were rivals.
I see.
But I got into gymnastics because I was watching the Olympics and I saw Amanda Borden do some crazy stuff on the Olympics. And I was like, oh my gosh.
That was she had a big floor routine, right? Was it the floor routine you saw or
I think I saw her on the balance beam.
Got it.
But I was 9 years old and she had really short hair.
That's already late. 9, right?
Yeah. It was not, like some people start at 3 years old. Mm-hmm. I didn't do that. I didn't get the...
So it was you pushing it.
Yeah. And I told my parents that I wanted to do gymnastics. And so they found a gym. And I think for a year I was just compulsory. Like I didn't really take it seriously. And then I competed in a tournament and there was like 22 places that they were like awarding. And there was only 23 girls. And I was the 23rd girl that like didn't place at all. And I was so butthurt about it. I was like, oh, I am the worst one here. And then I wanted to take it seriously. And so then I started training as a pro athlete for the next, 7 years.
So that overcoming adversity, was that an important moment in your life? Because I had some moments like that with athletics, and it like really was shaped a lot of how I operate these days. They're just going, fuck that, I'm going to become good at this. Yeah.
I've learned to definitely either be all in or all out. Like I don't know.
Comedy's a great place for that kind of attitude, by the way.
Yeah.
Because it requires, you know what it requires.
It'll beat you down and beat you down and beat you down.
Yeah.
And so you just keep going.
You know I'm a fan of learning a language before you visit a country. Babbel is a perfect way to do that. I asked Susan to use it when we went to France. It improved her accent markedly. And I noticed lately it was kind of drifting back the way it was before. So I made her go back on Babbel. For all of your summer travels, whether you're going abroad or staying domestic, you want to immerse yourself in that culture. Now is the perfect time to start. Babbel. Babbel is the language learning app that has sold more than 10 million subscriptions. Thanks to Babbel's addictively fun, easy, bite-sized language lessons, there is still time to learn a language before you reach your destination. And the way they teach you in Babbel, it's all very usable material, very easy to learn. I can't get behind it more strongly. It really makes the trips that much more fun and interesting. I love Babbel. Susan loves Babbel. Use it a few times a week and you will stay absolutely sharp. With Babbel, you only need 10 minutes to complete a lesson, so you can start having real life conversations in a new language in as little as 3 weeks. I mean, who can't prepare for 3 weeks before you hit another country? Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel lessons were created by over 150 language experts. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective, and with Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you improve your pronunciation and accent. I can vouch for that. There's so many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, video stories, and even live classes. Plus, it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. And right now, you can save up to 60% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/Drew. That is babbel.com/Drew for up to 60% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. What would you rather bet on? A company's stock going up or a Picasso painting's value going up? Picasso sounds pretty good to me. Supply and demand issue, right? No new Picassos coming out anytime soon, so the value increases. Stocks can change for sure, and there's been tumultuous times. Plus, even superstar actors like Apple and Amazon down quite a bit. But how does one quote unquote bet on a Picasso without having millions to buy one yourself? You go to Masterworks. That's right. They buy high-value art like Picasso's and Banksy's, break it into shares so you can invest in it without having to come up with the full value of the painting. Putting it simply, you're buying a slice of pizza because you don't want to spend the millions on the full pie, the full Picasso. And it's a great opportunity. It's a great way to do this. If it's be a sort of a rewarding way to participate in an investment. Now, if you want to get started on Masterworks, there's usually a wait list, but demand has been so high. But for our listeners, you can get a VIP access and skip the line by going to masterworks.art/Dr. Drew. See important Regulation A disclosures at masterworks.io/CD. Again, it's masterworks.art/Dr. Drew. So what's happening now in your life?
I mean,
What are you doing? Where will they find you?
like on social media?
You mentioned
My life basically is on social media now.
Okay. You make a living that way?
I do.
And that's OnlyFans, what you talked about?
I do OnlyFans. I'm on TikTok. I make comedic sketches. I do stand-up. And that's all I do.
And are you traveling much with this?
I travel a lot. I went on 3 tours this last year. Twice was in London for a month. I did international tours.
For comedy?
Mm-hmm.
That must have been interesting.
It was so fun.
Yeah, I bet.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
I went in February, and then I went again. No, I went in January, and then in March.
So are you where you want to be? Are you doing what you want to do?
I'm at a good starting point.
Mm.
I think that finally now I'm feeling like I have my bearings.
Are your parents cool with what you've done and doing?
My dad was like dumbfounded that I wanted to do Playboy.
Confused, yeah.
Yeah, and but I didn't really care. My dad and I didn't have a great relationship.
Oh, tell me about that.
He was an alcoholic.
Oh.
Super fun.
Did you inherit any of that genetics, you think?
I mean, I love alcohol.
Well, loving a substance is sort of like a tell,
Yeah.
as they say. Loving it. It's just one of those tells. So that genetics
Like I put Bailey's in my coffee.
Anything else in there?
I put mushrooms in my coffee.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. So do you drink all day?
No.
Not usually.
No,
That's seldom.
I don't drink until like 10 a.m. Just kidding. I'm joking.
Do you have to use alcohol or drugs when you're performing on your Instagram?
No, actually, I do not drink
Mm.
before I perform. So if I have a show, I don't drink at all.
Even in the social media zone.
I can't. Something about alcohol will make me really tired.
Oh, that's good. That's the opposite of what most people with those genetics get.
Yes. So if I tried to shoot a sketch or write or do anything productive, and I even have one cocktail, I'll get exhausted.
But I bet if you have 4, it goes the other way.
If I go 4, I just go to bed.
Oh, so it does take you down. Okay, got it.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I don't get.
That's a nice little
hyped up.
protective factor there. That's good.
Yeah, so I don't think I got that.
Did he ever get sober? Was he ever in the program? Did he ever try?
No.
Mm.
No.
Was he a mean drunk?
Yeah. He was not a happy person.
And do you get how that affects your picker? Because we're going to talk about dating today.
Okay, I can't wait.
And so do you get how that affects some people call love maps, how you fit with other people?
Sure.
Romantic partners.
Yeah. No, I'm sure I have a horrible picker, as you can tell.
So funny.
I'm just saying, like,
It's horrible. But that's where therapy could really, really help you. It's just sort of it remaps your connected how you connect with somebody.
Yeah. I've just accepted it.
It's so easy to correct, and stand up unfortunately is not the way to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, stand up's great as a catharsis and to work sort of cognitive stuff through, but that attachment stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll forever be attracted to alcoholics. That's just the way it is. But
They're fun.
right, and so but you won't necessarily have. When people have this it's codependency, right? It's sort of what this is, and when people have kind of lightning bolts, right?
Yeah.
Like you had lightning bolts with your husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to end every time the way that one ended.
Oh no.
Yeah. So you have to either not go for
I
lightning.
thought you were a doctor? Why do you have to be a psychic?
It's all the same stuff.
What the fuck?
So it's pretty predictable.
Your love life is doomed.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's my point. But if you go for lightning bolts, your body's a perfect instrument that way, and so every time will predict same kind of person, even if they look totally different, seem totally different. They will oblige you by doing the same outcome, same shit. So you either have to not go for lightning bolts, which is not necessarily fun.
So like a cool summer wind.
Butterflies.
Butterflies.
Yeah, butterflies more than lightning bolts. But
ooh, those are scary.
Right, because you're not used to that.
I know.
It's uncomfortable.
God, imagine
you get
feeling
boring,
something good.
boring, right? Right? Doesn't that?
Want a cup of tea?
It's
like
no, thank you. But therapy would realign stuff so you could have more lightning bolty kind of stuff and rely on your instincts a little
how
better.
How does therapy work? How long does that take? I'm
tired. You're tired already. Just
I'm
talking
already
about
so tired.
Are you aware that you add syllables to words?
No, what do you mean?
My intro to Lauren was her going, whoa, whoa. Like, I think that was a one-syllable word with 4 syllables. But it works it would take a bit of time, not excessive, not years and years. but I know it's not instant.
I'm 34, Dr. True.
You get there quick.
Clock's ticking.
So, okay, that's interesting. You haven't mentioned that yet, but that's interesting, important. And important to pay attention to that too. By the way, and also you can
get them frozen.
You can harvest them.
I know, but I keep thinking that the dream guy is just right around the corner.
I would so strongly urge you to get a little therapy before you make any before you go looking for that.
Sorry.
It literally would be. In
your dreams, bitch.
No, he is there, but you'd miss him now.
Oh, I know.
See, that's the thing. You wouldn't see it. And so even in the process of being in therapy, you'd be higher likelihood of seeing that.
I think it's great you're married.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's like if you go and you work out with, this is going to sound so terrible, but you want your trainer to be fit, right?
Yeah.
You have experience and success with this.
Yes, I've been married 32 years.
I just want you to know I'm listening.
Yeah, good. Thank you. And that is one of the things that troubles me about a lot of people that give relationship advice out there. Like I've been divorced 4 times, and it's like, no, fuck you. Where are you talking to people? So and we're very happy, and you can see her on the show if you ever watch this show.
I want to watch the show.
Okay, good.
What's her name?
Susan.
Susan. My aunt's name is Susan.
See, so is hers. So imagine that.
We love Susan.
So. In any event, just the process of forming a secure, safe in place where you feel comfortable and attached to another person, you're quite capable of it. You're very skeptical about it. I can tell. This is essentially what we're doing.
What's a safe place?
Environment where you feel held and heard and felt, and securely. Like it's like whoever's holding you in that environment can be fully open to whatever comes from you and just be there for you and receiving it. And
like a straight guy?
Well, you worried if it's a straight guy, something will go.
I've just the only guys that are like that to me are like
gay. Maybe you need a woman, maybe a female.
As a friend? As
a therapist.
Oh.
Yeah. I have a feeling it might be a little easier for you.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it doesn't, some people would say, well, we need to work on that attachment to men. But I'm not that way. I just think you got to feel that safety and have that secure base, and the attachment has to be something you can rely on, that you can translate it out into the world, and then...
It's crazy how scary that sounds.
I know, I'm sure.
You know?
Right, that should tell you something.
Yeah, because I'm so used to shit going south so fast, I've almost learned how to handle it better. If something goes good, I'm like, what is wrong with this person?
Right. So something's wrong with him. He's boring, or it's too vulnerable. It's uncomfortable. It's whatever. It's hard to sit with. That's the work. It's pretty simple.
It's crazy how I always think that I'm the problem too. I'm like, what did I do? What did I say?
It's the picking.
It's my picker. My picker's off.
You set it up that way.
Damn.
Yeah.
So tell me again what to look for.
in a guy, but butterflies, not lightning bolts.
Butterflies, not lightning
But
bolts.
you're missing the actual advice, which is to get therapy. You keep stepping around that. So and I'm sure are you living in Austin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there are lots of really well. And the more I'm talking, the more I'm thinking it needs to be a woman. And so just get a good female there, some old lady that's done it for years and has a great track record with forming attachments to people. That's all you need.
So do you think I have an attachment issue?
Not per se. It's your attachments are. I don't know what your attachment style is, but I'm sure it's okay. It's the mapping of that attachment onto certain kinds of people because of your dad, and God bless him.
Wow, that's so crazy that it runs all the way back to him. My mom doesn't have any.
I'm sure she does. Then I think instinctively I can say that to you because is this After Dark show? Are we doing After Dark today? Or are we just doing some other therapy show?
Hell yeah,
We're doing some celebrity rehab. It is.
You're helping me.
I know.
A lot.
And I deal with addicts and alcoholics so much that I had to learn to become really kind of, you said psychic, I really had to become kind of a mind reader in a proximity with another person. And so I know whatever I'm feeling, I can rely on 100%. And so my recommendation to you about a female has something to do with your mom.
Yeah.
But I don't know well enough to know what that is.
How did you get into this?
Accident. So my story is I was swashbuckling intensivist. I was going to be a cardiologist and going down that path. And I started moonlighting at a psychiatric hospital. And I got fascinated with what was going on there. And I got interested in the medical care of psychiatric patients and ended up taking over their medical services. And then over the years, gradually, all the medical problems were down on the drug unit. That's where all the medical problems were.
Yeah.
And I got very familiar with drug withdrawal and got very good at that. And then was asked to kind of help out on the drug unit and eventually became the director of the drug unit for like 30 years.
Wow.
And in that setting, felt like my job was to create this environment you and I are talking about.
Yeah.
And to help them feel felt. And with addicts and alcoholics, you learn very quickly whatever's coming out of their mouth, you don't pay any attention to it. You just react. And whatever comes out of my mouth, which I never know what is going to come, I just had to trust. And it became this sort of very instinctive thing. I had to do a lot of my own therapy.
Wow.
A lot.
Yeah, I never know what's going to come out of my mouth.
11 years. I had to do a lot of therapy. And my sort of...
What was your therapy for?
I had a little more trauma and sort of fucked up attachments too. And, my mom was a witch.
Like a real one?
Bless her heart. No, just to me.
Oh, I see.
Just bless her heart.
I was like, well, there's your psychic stuff coming through. She's got a cauldron. She's like, my son will tell the future for all of his future clients.
No, she was lovely, and God bless her. And there are many things to be thankful for about her, but she was pretty traumatic for me. And my dad was.
Well, sounds like your mom and my dad would have.
Yeah, they would have made quite
a lightning bolt.
Powie. And so anyway, lots of stuff and dysregulation. Fundamentally, I wasn't connected to my primary emotions very well. And I had a lot of anxiety and that kind of thing. And so in that safe environment, so I was the object of exactly what I'm talking to you about. And I needed somebody reflecting back to me feeling states so I could go in and find my own.
Yeah.
Like it's like, so here's what so would I have to start every session with I'm feeling, and I would just fill in that blank, whatever I'm feeling. And that was really hard for me. But when the therapist would reflect it back to me on her face, I wasn't aware that was even happening at the time, but in retrospect, I started seeing what was happening. It connected me. So her attunement connected me to my stuff.
Do you feel like you learn more about yourself when you talk to other people about their problems?
It is kind of like being a teacher. Teachers always say you learn more by teaching.
Yeah.
But I'm so much opening to the other person. My only participation is what we create together, right? And so what's fascinating to me is it helps me trust my instincts and feel more connected to my feelings.
Yeah.
It helps me stay in that space more, but I don't really have any insight in myself in that moment. And so I have all kinds of crazy, weird things that happen in therapy. You feel things, you smell things, you see things, you hear music and stuff that I learned quickly, not mine.
Wow.
So I would always know that the patient was experiencing something. Yeah. So
do you have kids?
We have triplets. 29.
Like on accident?
No, fertility campaign.
Okay.
Yeah.
Knock them all out at once.
I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. Dude,
Fuck that shit, then.
This turned my hair gray in like 6 months. All right, let's get to this show.
Okay.
We've enough little psychotherapy.
Thank you for that. I needed
and
it.
This is what I was telling you. You needed a little more on the trauma side of this, right? Come on, man.
What are you saying? You saying I needed therapy?
Dude, we had long conversations about this, of course, about 6 months.
I don't remember what you're talking about, Chief.
Are you going to forget this whole thing too?
What thing?
Oh, yeah, there we go. See? Why do I waste my time with you guys? So no, Annie has some more specific trauma
right,
stuff.
back to the show.
Had more specific trauma stuff we had talked about with him over the months and stuff. And so I just want you to know, I'm not really talking about this for you. I was talking about more EMDR and stuff like that for you. So there's different kinds of therapy.
What's
for different
EMDR?
It's eye movement desensitization.
Oh, I had a
reprogramming.
therapist try to do that. It was.
I'm not sure that's what you need. Yeah, it's like kind of like hypnosis. Really, if you had more. I mean, I'm sure your dad was kind of traumatizing, but I don't know, any sexual abuse growing up or anything.
Yeah, not from him.
No, I understand, but it sort of opens you to that, having a traumatic dad at home.
Yeah,
and that maybe you need some specific stuff. Probably not. Probably you just deal with it in a safe context. Kind of thing.
Therapy is a great start.
No, therapy would be the whole thing
Oh.
for you. It'd be the beginning, middle, and end if it's with a good therapist. All right, let's get some voice messages going here. Emails. You putting emails up front?
Yeah, let's start with some
All
emails.
right, some emails. All right, ready? Here we go for you. Can dating sites be addictive? My boyfriend has been using dating sites for 20 years. My boyfriend?
Whoa!
And has not had a serious relationship in many years before me. When I noticed them on his phone, he said he's just addicted to looking and can't stop. He opens the apps and showed me he never responds, but won't delete them. What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck is right? I mean, if your boyfriend is looking at other girls on dating websites, it doesn't sound like they are a match made in heaven.
Right. So it's a bad picker maybe for this young lady.
I think she should probably just be like, why don't you pick one of those and go? That's my advice.
Yeah.
Leave that
Interesting.
motherfucker.
I think we can just leave it at that. It is interesting, though, that men get addicted to visual scrolling of all types. Mostly porn is where they get going.
Yeah.
And I could see how this could have a similar kind of thing for a guy, but you would think on behalf of the girlfriend, you could fucking
But
stop.
there's a difference, because if you're looking at porn, you're like trying to get have some sexual
arousal.
Yeah. But if you're on a dating site, you're seeing what's out there and what's available. I think that's just a different thing. Like
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay.
All right. Kick him to the curb. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Send him to my OnlyFans.
Drew, he would be more honest, at least. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. So, Drew and Booth Boys, I've been watching your show on YouTube religiously for all of 2022. I love it. I want to know all of your opinions. That's 3 of us, gentlemen. On the question, can she be too wet? My husband is having troubles in the bedroom. We're working through it. How many times have I said, what do I say when a man is, she's saying he's having erectile problems or having trouble ejaculating or something. What do I say when a guy's having a problem like that? What do I say?
Fuck through it.
What do I say about the woman's part in it?
That she's
The
doing
wetter the
nothing
better.
wrong.
She's doing a great job.
Yeah, she's good stuff. Hot stuff.
Hot sauce is the best.
God, hot sauce is the best. But I feel like we should stop. Maybe we got to replay all of 2022 if this is how much getting through. Okay, after one successful attempt, he said, it's getting too wet. I have extraordinary self-consciousness. I've never considered that as a possibility. Okay.
Oh, the proof that we're seeing the proof that we're doing a good job, and it's all in her head.
No. Yes,
Not that
yes.
one? Not
Thank
that
you
one?
for that, but that's a wholly different thing. So that when a man has performance problems, you guys done?
That it's not her fault.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. So when a man has a performance problem, whether it's delayed ejaculation, too fast ejaculation, erectile dysfunction, it's almost never anything to do with the woman. And I mean almost never.
Yeah.
So she's now doing a whole thing in her head, like, I must be
Yeah.
too wet, I must be this. And he has the temerity to blame her.
Wow.
What an asshole. And now now there can be a thing of too wet that where the friction is not quite what a guy likes, right?
Weird.
But you can work around that pretty easily.
Yeah.
So it's again, if a guy's having a problem, it's
like
him.
is she squirting?
She doesn't tell us.
Well, that's like unless you're hanging your bed up to dry.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine it.
I've heard of it being an issue for both partners. Frankly, for both. But it's again quite manageable. And for him to blame you because he has a dysfunction, no, he should get his
a bucket and a mop for that wet ass pussy.
Put that on a loop. So just wondering why and if this is normal ever since I started getting my period, which is irregular. You always
same.
Yours irregular. 2 syllables there. Same. I thought same was 1 syllable. Same. I have a friend that does that. I have a friend that does that all the time. I give her shit about it too. So I can always tell it's coming. The 2 to 3 days before it comes, I get a. Adam Carolla is calling me. Everybody.
I was just on a show with him at the Improv. We should say hi.
He's not as fun as you think he is.
He was on my show.
I know. He'll be like,
Is he looking for therapy?
No, we just talk regularly.
Oh.
He and I do a podcast together 3 days a week.
Oh, okay.
And remember
cool.
we had a show before you were born on television.
I did a show at the Hollywood Improv a couple weeks with Jeremy Piven and Adam Carolla.
Oh, how fun! That's cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
So 2-3 days before it comes, my period, I get shooting pain inside that area when I orgasm. So she gets a cramp with orgasm. But also I orgasm at least twice a day. And I know some women have trouble with that, but maybe I'm just in tune with my body. Medically, though, what's going on? Touch my camera through the fence. I'll be coming up in May. All aloha. What do you think? So she's got irregular periods. They're sort of uncomfortable. She has pain after orgasm, but orgasms more. I think she was saying more.
It sounds like she likes the pain. If she's got pain when she's orgasming and she's doing it twice a day.
I think she's telling us. No, she's not saying that twice a day is just her deal. That's just what she does, whether it's before the period or otherwise. But yeah, pretty good, right?
Wow.
And during there's so right. So there's an interesting thing. Women are all over the place on the orgasm spectrum, right? You're aware of that, right? Some are like stealing all of them from everybody, and some of them can barely find it, and it's sort of in between. She's sort of in between. Sounds like she has 1 orgasm each time.
I have so many questions about her orgasms now.
Go ahead. Let's see if I can answer them.
Is she? I want to know. Is she like clitoral or is it the G spot?
She's that kind of thing is usually clitoral, rarely G. They'll be able to do G spot, but not very often.
Yeah.
That person.
Yeah.
And the woman that's multiple orgasmic, like 20 at a 30 at a time.
Yeah, like continuing on.
They will not like clitoral stimulation at all.
Wow.
It feels too intense, too uncomfortable.
I like clitoral stimulation when I'm by myself, but if I'm with a guy, then I'm like all about that G spot.
Okay, good. So you're sort of more in her camp.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I have irregular periods.
But
Bitch, we're in the same place.
But do you have pain?
No, no pain.
So there's a lot of inflammation during periods, particularly if she may have endometriosis, she may have ovarian cysts, she has something's going on where she's having irregular periods, and that is associated sometimes with more inflammation. And the round ligament there, the sort of suspensory ligaments for the uterus and tubes, gets irritated, inflamed, and it kind of that whole area is contracting during orgasm, and that sort of triggers this visceral feeling.
Wow.
Yeah.
My nose just tingles.
Interesting.
When I orgasm, I don't know why.
Do you ever faint or anything?
Not from an orgasm.
Do you ever? Does your mouth ever tingle too?
No, it's just the tip of my nose.
Isn't that interesting? Don't have.
It's like Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer.
How cute. I'm a 23-year-old male. Let's see. That's fine. I'm a 29-year-old. My sex drive has been low most of my life. A couple weeks ago, I started getting increased sex drive, like feeling random urges to masturbate throughout the day. I could be eating lunch, writing email, talking at work, and it hits me really random. No recent changes in medication. I've always been taking medication for epilepsy and anxiety for years. That's why your sex drive has been low. What is going on is you maybe changed your medication. I piss on me, beat me again. Aloha. So look, if a male, you're now normal, dude. That's essentially normal. That's what
we applaud you.
That is what men kind of contend with at your age all the time. You've not been normal probably because of the medication. And if you have a low sex drive, you always have to think of a medical explanation for it. If a male,
wow.
Now there can be.
Can't you take testosterone, or what do you do?
This guy, he could make sure that the medicines aren't lowering his testosterone. He would check that. If he has sort of 200 to 400 range, you might boost it up to 600, 800 might help him. But really, you want to change the medication if you possibly can. So, okay, 25-year-old, hoping you can give me some dating advice for somebody who's very antisocial. I don't like meeting new people. It's very uncomfortable. It makes me nervous and anxious. I'm not insecure. It's just a problem that I have. Also, I love people's English. Also, this will be my very first time dating. So, all right. So this is,
what?
yeah. So I think I figured out. So this is basic dating advice, and somebody who kind of has social phobia, probably has socially not skilled.
I imagine it's hard to meet people when you don't like people.
Well, she didn't say she doesn't like people. She's uncomfortable. She doesn't have, now, so one of the ways to address that is develop your fucking skills.
Yeah,
right.
Get out there.
Get out there. Right. So what should she do? Any advice? Where should she go? Should she go out?
Well, I mean, it's hard to tell someone to do something that they don't like to do, but how else do you expect to meet someone?
You were at the bottom of the gymnast scale, and then you got good, and then you liked it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Same thing dating. She needs to get out there.
Get out there.
She's 22nd or 23rd right now. She
Let's
needs
go,
to be
babe.
first. Right. So it's about developing skills. It's about getting familiarity. I heard an interesting podcast yesterday was talking about confidence, and I thought he was so spot on. He was saying we have all these assholes out there going, be confident, be confident. You can't be confident till you have experience.
True.
Once you have experience doing something, then you have competency, and it makes you feel confident. You can that you can tolerate situations, you can tolerate uncertainty,
Yeah.
you can tolerate whatever it is that your anxiety is about. There are also treatments for social phobia if you want to do that. There's medication and things, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. First order business, go out there. My question though is, are dating websites, and Tinder and whatnot, can you realistically hook up with people, not hook up, go out and socialize with people through those apps that way without, I don't know, do people have expectations with these? I don't know. Okay. So when you do an app, let's say I said, hey, honey, I want you to go out and just have drinks with 2 different people a night, but that's it. Will she eventually piss people off? I mean, you know what I mean?
I think you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, because if you're meeting people on a dating app, the expectation is if you match, that you both have an interest in each other.
Okay. So it's got to be a little more than just, hey, we're just having a drink. I'm practicing my social skills on you.
I think so.
So where should she go? What should she do?
They have Bumble for friends.
There you go.
I'm serious. Like
Yep.
you can actually, it's called like my Bumble BFF or
Perfect.
something like that.
Perfect.
So if you're also just looking, there's a setting on dating apps where you can set it to where it says that you're just here for friends.
Good.
And so maybe just set that
Start with that.
standard.
Perfect. And then maybe graduate out of that at some point once you get kind of good at it. We're helping people, guys.
That's
we're doing
what
it.
I would do.
Here we go. Now we're going to watch some videos.
Okay, I can't wait.
All right. Now, so Nadav's going to set this up for us.
So Lauren, can you put your headphones
Oh yeah, we
on?
need the headphones for this.
Oh.
Yeah. And can I pick the order?
Wow, you sound so
Sure.
good in this.
Yes, these are good mics. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you want to see first, Drew?
Shaving head with ass sort of intrigues me. So
What
I'm
the
wondering,
fuck did you just say?
I said shaving head with ass. So I'm wondering what that is.
Oh, it's written there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that's where we're going to see the videos. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. God. Oh my God. This is old school YMH stuff.
I would love to recreate this.
I mean, you'll get lots of views.
How is this guy so fucking serious?
He looks like he's a mannequin.
It looks like she has a dick. And what's the other guy doing? Like being more precise
I
with
think
all
he's
the.
trying to correct whatever she's done with her ass. Is really
Yeah.
what's happening there.
Is he wearing a shirt of himself?
Great pickup. I think he is. I think he absolutely is.
That's phenomenal.
Why? And not only that, he's completely bald in his T-shirt. So I guess he doesn't care if she takes chunks out of his.
Yeah, he's like, go
head.
for it. I'm gonna shave this head anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this is a new experience, everybody. So
Wow.
I feel like I've learned something. The fact that you mentioned it looked like a phallus sort of opens a whole bunch of other new
Doesn't it though?
possible ideas.
It's like
that
some weird backwards
there could
dick.
be a strap-on version of this. There could be all kinds of variations on this.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
And
see?
he looks thrilled.
He does. Lauren, welcome to your mom's house.
Thank you.
Here, you're welcome.
I love the mom's house.
Here we are. So, all right. Do you guys have any more to add to that? Is there?
No, I think you guys added so many layers to
Yeah,
it
we pretty
that
much got it.
We didn't catch the
You
first
didn't-
time.
I think Lauren's observation is the best. That he's
He's wearing himself.
And by the way, that's not a shirt. That's a smock for the like.
Oh my
it's like just for the
God!
barber shop, right?
You're right.
It's right.
Christ.
We need to know more about this gentleman.
Wow.
Is it his barber shop? Does he DJ at that barber shop? Is he like? I imagine he's the DJ at the barber shop.
Or does everyone that go in the barbershop just look like that? We don't know.
And do you see the giant headsets on his smock? Right? Does that, to me, that says DJ. Doesn't? And he looks like he's like scratching, like he's leaning in.
Can we actually take this video and like zoom out a little
wouldn't
bit
that
so
be
we
nice?
can see more?
No, we
Zooms
can
in.
only zoom in.
Oh wait, hold on, keep going. Okay.
Better.
Is he wearing an apron?
Are those barber chairs?
He's
behind
wearing
him?
an apron.
Oh my God, does he work at Terry Black's? I think he does.
We're getting barbecue from there in mere minutes.
I can't wait.
Let's see. He is wearing what looks like a chef's apron, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's cooking up some fire.
So whatever you guys, whoever sent this in, who sent this in? Did Christina just find this, or
No, I think it was just sent into the
please
email.
give us more about this gentleman. We need
to know
yeah.
a lot more about
Yeah.
this human
Yeah.
being.
It's almost like a weird stripper.
And it
barbershop.
it also looks like they're at home. It doesn't even look like they're at a barbershop. It looks like his friends are just as fucked up as he is.
Okay, keep going. Next one.
Okay.
What do you got next?
All right, so this next one is a very cool prank that a wife does on her husband post vasectomy surgery.
Uh-oh.
My husband had a vasectomy today.
Uh-oh. He looks so happy.
Oh, we've got, like, I need to go take an antibiotic in for you. Did you know that they gave me your balls? Look. Did you know that they were going to do that?
What? They took my balls out.
Because it has the semen. You didn't, they told you they were going to do that.
Oh no!
They told me you don't need them. Your ball sack is still. You still have your balls. I was just kidding.
Oh.
You still have them. Feel like they're there.
I can't feel my balls.
Let me see them.
Oh no.
It's bandaged.
How do you feel?
I feel fine.
Why were you crying?
I wasn't crying.
You were crying. You were crying. Thank you so much. You were crying because they gave me your balls.
She's gonna do it again.
I wasn't funny.
So funny.
I thought that they gave you my balls.
No, I have your balls in my purse.
Yeah, I know, but like literally was gonna be in your purse. And I wasn't sure if I was gonna get them back.
You can have your balls.
No, I don't want to touch those.
He's the best. They're the best. So he was under anesthetic still the first.
Yeah,
which is always funny. Oh, and you know, whenever somebody's still coming out of anesthesia, it never gets old. Do you know? It reminds me of my gagging friends, my gagging couple. Do you know I interviewed them on my streaming show?
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were awesome.
Yeah,
they were
they look
super awesome. And I forget her name. It's like Lauren. Yeah, I think it's Lauren also.
Oh God!
And she's
Another
had
fucking Lauren.
she's had vomit phobia since childhood. It turned out, and
like she's afraid of throwing up.
she has a fear of it, but then is really easy to gag. Like she gags at everything, and her husband discovered that and tortures her with that.
Oh wow!
And there's a whole YouTube channel for it. Do we have any handy? You're going to show this Lauren, that Lauren?
You're
little
gonna have to
quickie?
give me a minute to
All
try
right.
and look.
Come
for it.
on now.
All right. I mean, I always do that to you guys. I know, and
Come
I do
on
it.
now, give me the thing.
I do it with hat in hand. Come on now.
But also be fucking fast about it.
You'll get it when you get it.
All right. Give me an ATM etiquette while we're maybe. You want to do that while you're working
I
on it?
can't do both at the same time.
Should we wait, or do you want to do a voice message, or maybe I'll do some emails?
Voice message is the same thing.
Okay,
I
I'll
got
do
it.
an email then.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. 25-year-old. I hope you can give me some dating advice for. Oh, this is antisocial. This is interesting. I'm 23. I'm 6'4", 230. My dating situation. I was diagnosed with chronic myeloid leukemia, CML. I would like to continue dating as I'm pretty lonely, especially now. So what do you suggest? This is for Lauren. I have told people about my illness either turns them off immediately because it's just too much to deal with, or they just pity me, and that doesn't get your peener wet. So any advice? Jeans, Booth Boys, Lauren would really appreciate it. I plan on pissing on and beating the shit out of this cancer. Good. CML
Didn't see that coming.
that's just kind of aloha. Again, CML is...
I saw R. Kelly vibes all over that for a minute.
Yeah. CML is a tough illness. It's going to be with him, but you can go quite a while with it. And how would somebody deal with that if they want to date someone and they have a chronic condition that is potentially life-threatening?
I don't know.
So I would guess you wouldn't want to throw that out on the first date.
No.
Right. Second date? Probably. Maybe second or third?
Yeah.
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 And then how do you...
I mean, no one's perfect. I don't know. I'm a bad friend. I can already tell.
I think he's going to have to find a special person, really.
Yeah. Is there like a leukemia meets leukemia singles dating site?
Interesting question. I don't know, but leukemias are all very different one to the other. It's not like there's this one syndrome. There's all kinds of AMLs and CMLs and things.
What does leukemia do to you?
Again, it depends. So mostly when people say leukemia, they're talking about acute lymphocytic leukemia, which is a overgrowth of lymphocytes, and it's bad. It's treatable in childhood. It is not so treatable later on. You get really, really sick.
Parasites?
Is it from parasites?
No, is that what you said?
I don't know what I said. What did I say?
Did I hear that right, or did I make that up in my head?
Sometimes things come out of my mouth, and I'm not. Well, anyway, it's lymphocytes. I said
lymphocytes. I thought you said parasites.
No,
I was like, what?
No, in CML, it's the myeloid line. So the other white cells in the system that get going, and sometimes red cells, and sometimes platelets get involved in that. And you can either have an acute AML, there's many different cell types there, or you can have a chronic ML, which is what he's got.
So what's the progression look like?
They often, I think they can get a cure out of most of them these days with a bone marrow transplant and that kind of thing.
So it hits your bones?
It's in your bone marrow. It's a cancer of the bone marrow, essentially. One cell type takes over and blossoms. And bone marrow transplants is what cures it. Can cure
get
it.
A bone marrow transplant?
Mm-hmm. Very common. That's how you treat the leukemias, and even sometimes some other cancers sometimes.
Now, how do they do a bone marrow transplant?
Well, it depends what the situation is. I mean, things like multiple myeloma can be treated with bone marrow transplants pretty effectively these days. Never curatively, and the AMLs you can cure. Anyway, it's all over the place.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you can get into a situation where the leukemia just explodes all of a sudden.
Wow.
And many times those aren't treatable situations. So you can get into real trouble.
Yeah.
Even though you can also get a cure. But it's a thing somebody have to deal with, And okay, he's got it, Lauren, the gagging lady for us.
Let's look at these gaggers.
Just pick one. Like maybe that. There we go. Here she is, coming back from work.
Good afternoon, Lauren. How are you today?
And I had a great day.
You did?
I had a wonderful
Now
day.
everybody's going to have a great day.
We're going to try and torture.
Ready? Come on. You got to do it for the kids. There it is. One more for the kids. There it is.
All right, I'm going.
It's all right. It's good enough. Good enough.
That makes me go, huh?
Laura, what's wrong? What's wrong, Laura? It's that bad? It's that bad? Can't be that bad.
Why is she
loves
doing
this.
that though?
Because he's making a noise that he knows how to
can't
do that
believe it's that
triggers
bad.
her to
One
do
more
it.
for the kids. One more for the kids. Yeah.
And I told him he's like a Medicare, what do you call it? Like he advocates for patients for Medicare and
Yeah.
He's a really good guy, but it's his glee that brings the most delight. That he thinks
He
it's
loves
so,
it.
He's so funny that he can do this.
Damn.
And there's something deep in me, not necessarily good, that responds to it as well.
Wow.
So, yeah. So that's.
I wonder how big is their following?
It's big.
I bet.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
weird.
It's so yes. It's
1.3 million.
yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Big Daddy Murph.
Yeah, that's Murph. Yeah. So anyway,
Wow.
so let's go back to Girl Peels Fruit. Is that or what do you want? Where would you guys want
Yeah,
next?
it's here. Let's do one more clip and then maybe some voicemails.
Yeah, let's do it. Ooh, that's kind of gross.
Wow.
Huh?
Okay.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. And what is behind her there on the? It's like a Miro painting. What's a Calder? What's going on
These are
back
just
there?
posters.
Huh. Interesting.
Let's see if
God.
the background is the same on this one.
Yeah. I like the fact that she discovered that if she does
She's
this,
a machine.
people will watch her doing it.
Imagine you go on a date and they're like, "What's your secret talent?"
Oh no!
Ooh, pineapple.
Wow. The roof of her mouth must be destroyed by this.
Actually, Drew, can your chompers pop out if you try to do that to the wrong thing?
Yes, of course you can crack
God.
them. They'll pull out or
That
crack.
like hurts my teeth just
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, cute, nice.
Pretty cool.
Little break. Yeah, good break from what we've been dealing with. Voice message. What do you got there?
Hi, Dr. Drew. I'm calling today because I did get an HPV vaccine when I was younger, but I did still get it transmitted to me as a young adult. And I've had some clear tests over the past few years from my gynecologist, but I'm just wondering if there's anything I need to look out for in the next several years. Am I more likely to get certain types of cancers or illnesses because of this? What should I be looking out for? Can you help me? Thanks, mommies.
She didn't give us her name, did she?
She did not.
Okay. Great question. Do you have any insight?
No, I don't know anything about HPV.
Okay. Did you got the vaccine when you were a kid? Probably,
Yeah.
So the vaccine is awesome. All the new post Roe versus Wade stuff is bringing back trauma for me because I spent many years fighting for the HPV vaccine, fighting for the morning after pill, not the abortion pill, the morning after contraceptive. And I was accused of being a baby killer back in those days. And it doesn't work that way, guys. It works by preventing ovulation, just the way your birth control pills makes normally. And by the way, that girl we talked about early on who was having the irregular periods and stuff, she could go on contraceptives and might settle some of that stuff down. But anyway, HPV vaccine is very, very effective in preventing cancer. So there are certain subtypes of the HPV that causes cancer. You are pretty much protected against that with the vaccine. You can still get HPV, as she did, and it can still create some abnormalities in the cells of the cervix. But you can essentially take real risk away just by getting proper screening, getting your pap smears regularly, things like that. You don't really need to worry about anything. The reality is that most of the HPVs that you would get, not the ones that you've been vaccinated against, that ones you get vaccinated against are persistent and you can transmit them to other people. The more common stuff that you're not vaccinated against necessarily are usually self-limited. They don't cause any problems. They go away on their own, that kind of thing. And you don't, like after a year or two, you don't really transmit it with other people.
Yeah.
All right. Another voice message.
Hey, Hitler and the Booth Boys. Just so you guys know, you guys are the best. So the other day, someone called in about a woman laughing during sex. I thought, yes, you are going to answer a question that I've been having. However, this seems to be a completely different laughing situation.
Ooh.
I have a question about my boyfriend coming. My boyfriend and I have the most amazing orgasms when we take edibles and get it on. However, a handful of times while my boyfriend and I were doing this, he broke out in uncontrollable laughter when we came. I wrote it off to him being high and being amused at how loud I was. But the other day it happened when he was totally sober. And then it happened yet again when we were sober, but it happened when I was giving him head, so it couldn't have been him being amused by my vocalness.
Huh.
What the hell, Dr. Drew? Piss on me, beat me. Talk to y'all later. Megan.
What the hell indeed, right?
Sounds like it tickles him.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Gentlemen, you have any insight into this? This kind of a little. At first, I thought it was going to be that he was kind of laughing at her when because she probably. Sometimes it can get a little amusing.
I want to know, like, is she asking him why he's laughing?
Good question. That would be important information. I don't think she has because she's sort of mystified
Just
by it.
ask.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what the fuck is so funny?
Yeah, exactly. And did she say he was before orgasm, while or during oral sex?
When they orgasm.
But she said the other day it was during oral sex. Like she was giving him head and he started laughing. I'm guessing at the point of orgasm.
Yeah, was there like a cartoon in the background and he was like, oh fuck. Like, is she sure?
it's not sounding particularly good. But sometimes laughing gets
Does he have a good laugh? Does she like
It's a conditioned
hearing it?
response, like a conditioned response.
Yeah.
And it may be for women after orgasm can laugh or cry sometimes if it's a big sort of release.
Wow.
Yeah, you ever had that?
Just a tingly nose.
Tingly nose. So men, it makes sense to me that could start to happen. It probably feels good to him to laugh. Maybe that's why he kind of indulges in it. And I do know when men sometimes they will laugh at women orgasming. They will do that. But he is no longer.
You boys in the booth?
I have not.
They will do
not
that.
at that specifically.
It's not often, but it happens.
I would imagine it being like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Not
yeah. Right. Depends on the person. But we don't have a good answer for you, my dear. So Megan, ask him directly, and maybe then we can talk about it some more. So should we do one more voice message?
We can do one more.
Okay, let's do it.
Hey, Dr. Hitler and Mommy Jeans. My name is Keelan, and I had a question about, some white, although in my case it should be considered yellow and pretty chunky. And that's basically what my question is about.
Yeah.
Is every time I seem to have a good time with myself, when I try to do it within 4 strokes, it's always chunky.
Yeah.
Like very chunky. Okay. It's always yellow. It's never as in you see in the videos and whatnot. It's always just the nastiest of nasty. And I gotta admit to my own self, I've tried it myself.
He can't let
it's
up.
A spicy mixture. It's a spicy one. And it's just disgusting. And I can't imagine that any woman would ever want to do that to herself. So I'm terrified to have a woman want to do that.
Good.
Yeah, no fucking
what
shit.
do I gotta do, Dr. Drew? Please let me know. Why is my cum always fucking chunky and nasty? Please let me know. Thank you. I love you guys. I'm coming up in May and fucking piss on me and beat me.
Remember how I laughed at Lauren the video? This you're triggering the same response in me right now. So okay.
I'm shaking.
Okay. It's gross, right? I like that we had to go over it 7 times for us.
He's like, and if I didn't, in case you missed it, it's chunky.
It's gross and yellow
and
chunky.
yellow and
so gross. So
that was a sobering thing to hear.
I sort of call that tapioca pudding syndrome. That's sort of what we're talking about here. No, it's gross. That is all proteinaceous agglutination, that material that's coming out. Oh, come on. Oh, you got a picture of tapioca pudding?
Come on now.
There's tapioca pudding, right? That's sort of what we're talking about, guys, isn't it?
Oh my fucking God.
Hey, let's go get some barbecue. Come on, Laura. Let's do it.
Oh God. Holy fuck.
Again, God with 2 syllables. So
Oh man.
You've said it all, Lauren. You've said it all.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let me answer the young man's question, which
calm
is,
down.
dude, that may just be you. It's possible some guys that is just their thing. A way to kind of minimize it, lots of fluids, and clear the pipes more regularly. You understand what I'm saying? And it might thin out a bit. So there we go. Yeah, guys, barbecue. Let's go. Little brisket coming up.
Hungry?
All right.
Yeah.
Are you hungry? Let's go. Come on, Lauren. I apologize for our listeners and our voicemail. It's really.
I am shocked.
I know it's a bit much. I'm apologizing to your mom. So sorry for putting Lauren through this. Are you good? Are you in one piece?
I'm okay.
You're okay. So you want to tell people where they can find you?
At I am Lauren Compton across all platforms.
And is there one website where they can find sort of all the links? I'm LaurenCompton.com
TikTok,
or anything?
Instagram, OnlyFans.
So at I am Lauren Compton.
At I am Lauren Compton.
LAUREN.
COMPTON.
There you go, buddy. Lauren Compton, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you for playing along.
Thanks for having me. You're
All
going
right.
to leave me on the fucking cum dumpster note with this guy.
Can we do it? Is there a palate cleanser we can give Lauren? Is there something we can do?
Now that we've grossed you out completely.
Can we bring her something some with flowers?
Some mac and cheese out there.
Hello, Julia, or something?
You want flowers?
No, something to clear her palate.
You know what? I'll give you a fun. I'll give you some TikToks.
A horrible or hilarious or something to kind of make her laugh about it.
here.
I'm feeling guilty.
Horrible or hilarious?
I'm feeling
All right,
guilty.
Drew, I like where you're going with this. All right,
Just get her mind off the, you know.
Here's a fun, light clip to end on.
Uh-oh. Oh.
So you show me something traumatizing.
No,
Fuck
it's
you
hilarious.
guys.
Hilarious.
Fuck you guys.
We've
I'm
never
done.
never had anybody storm off before, but here we go.
That's it.
All right.
Great meeting you, Dr. Drew.
Yeah, Lauren.
Guys, fuck you too.
And with that, we'll
Great to have you.
see you next time. All conversations and information exchanged during participation of the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the drdrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.